Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Roman here, and I'm going to be doing a Lone Survivor review for you guys right now. It is currently 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm extremely tired, but it's been in my mind ever since walking out of the theater about an hour ago. And this movie was phenomenal. And I was like, I need to do a review on this movie. I need to let people know what I think about the movie. And I definitely don't want to go to school tomorrow and have it be on my mind all day. So I'm coming home about 30 minutes ago, and it's been on my mind. And I just needed to not discuss it with you guys, more of tell you, what I thought of the movie. Anyways, Lone Survivor. It is based on the eyewitness account of Operation Red Wing and the lost heroes of SEAL Team 10. It is a covert mission to neutralize a high-level Al-Qaeda operative, Ahmad Shah, during the war in Afghanistan. These events occurred on June 28th, 2005. Now, before I go more in depth into this review, I want to let you all know, for those who haven't seen it, it is spoiler heavy, and so if you just stop now, let me just tell you right now, it's a good movie. It was a great movie. Definitely go see it. Worth the $7. You have to go see it. It's a phenomenal movie. It is, although it is rated R, it did not matter for me because I was 17. But it is rated R. It's a phenomenal movie. Phenomenal. Go see it, and that's as much as I'm going to tell you. So exit out the video right now and go do something else. Go do something exciting. Anyways, getting into the spoilers, besides the fact that the main character, Marcus Luttrell, played by Mark Wahlberg, one of my favorite actors of all time, the story is, based on these four Navy SEALs who, have to go on this covert mission to take out an Al-Qaeda leader, Ahmad Shah. And the characters are Marcus Luttrell, played by Mark Wahlberg, like I've already stated before, Michael Murphy, played by Taylor Kitsch. I'm sorry if I botched that name at all. Danny Dietz, played by Emil Hirsch. Sorry if I also botched that name as well. And Matthew Axelson, played by Ben Foster. Four great actors. They're really good. They were phenomenal. A lot of people bash this movie for focusing more on action instead of characterization. But trust me, once I get more in depth to this, it was fine, and the movie was perfectly fine. Don't listen to critics. Go there if you've already seen it. Based off your own opinion. And anyways, I apologize also if I yawn at all during this video or I start pausing. I'm extremely tired. I just need to get this done. Anyways, so it starts whatever. I'm expecting a good movie. Everyone says it's a great movie. They say it's a tear jerker, and honestly, ever since End of Watch, another great, one of my favorite movies, by the way, and Prisoners, I haven't cried during a film. I had a couple tears during Prisoners, and I cried quite a bit during End of Watch. I guess I could save that for another day, but that movie was also very emotional as well, and it was a great movie. But this movie, I've never cried so hard in a movie. I mean, I wasn't like bawling, like I was like, I wasn't like that. I was just more of tears and this emotional effect that this actually happened. This and it just gives me a whole nother aspect on war and what these people go through and what they could possibly go through. And for Marcus Luttrell, who is alive today, he's based, as you can see in the title, Lone Survivor. He's the only one that survived, and he wrote a book about it in 2007, 2 years after the events in 2005. And Peter Berg, who directed the movie, who also directed Battleship and Hancock, he directed the movie, and it was great. I mean, he pretty much took it right out the book, and I've never read it. That's what people have told me, and I do believe them. But this was a phenomenal movie. I'm a guy who likes to go to an action movie, and it's completely fine with the emotional aspect. I expected to come into this movie and at least get a tear or two, but I wasn't expecting as many tears as I did. Mark Wahlberg was phenomenal. He was absolutely phenomenal, and this movie should, if people are kind of bent on Mark Wahlberg as an actor, this movie pretty much defined Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg is an actor. He is a phenomenal actor. He's got to be one of the top five currently acting today. It's just so good. It was excellent. Um, just his performance was so strong. And being the leader of the SEAL team, these four guys coming in to, basically go against this whole Taliban army to take out this one leader, Ahmad Shah, and it was perfect. Everyone else did well, great as well. Ben Foster, Emil, and Taylor, they did phenomenal. I mean, yeah, you've seen. This is the best war movie I've seen. Keep in mind, I've never seen Saving Private Ryan or Black Hawk Down. Definitely need to see those movies because I've also heard those movies are great as well. But this is definitely a freaking phenomenal movie, and just it's so hard to talk about because it still kind of gets to me. At the end of the movie, when before the credits start to roll and the lights haven't dimmed back up yet, they show pictures of the deceased. The three guys that died here, besides Mark Wahlberg, the three guys that died, and they showed one of them at their wedding, and I was just like, and one of them with their baby, and I couldn't do it, and I started breaking down. I cried at one point when the guy to the left, or our right, in looking at the picture, he was making his last stand with a pistol up against a tree, and you know, I was just like, wow. I cried a little bit there, and then I hadn't really cried the rest of the movie. I was kind of just like so into it because it was so intense, and just the silence of it, waiting for their enemy, and just the sound of the RPGs and the guns and the reloading it was so good. You have to see this movie in theaters. You have to. You just absolutely have to. And then what part really got me is after Mark Wahlberg had gotten away, after holding off on the hill or cliffside, he gets saved by this little town. This guy from a town with a couple people with him, and they save him. He's American. Some people don't agree with him, and they give him food, water. He needs a knife, and he gets the shrapnel out of him. And once the Taliban figures out that he's there, and they take him, but then they save him. I don't really want to go too in depth. I don't want to make this 25 minutes long, but once after they give him bread and water, and he asks him, why are you doing this to me? Why are you helping me? And then it's a huge war not a huge war, but the Americans come in with the Apaches and start lighting up the Taliban. It was insane. They just come in, and just hearing the sound of the AC-130 and the guns from the Apache was just phenomenal. And I broke down. I was like, I'm not gonna cry. And honestly, I don't know why I cried. And I'm not afraid to admit that I cried, because I did. I had multiple tears for 5-7 minutes straight. It was that good. And once they throw, the red smoke to signal in where the helicopter is going to land, and they come out and they're finding them and they save them, I just broke down. I had tears. I had tears all over my shirt. I mean, I had tears. I was trying not to cry, and it was like getting caught up in me, and I was just like, I can't do this. This is just, I don't know why. I really don't know why I cried as much as I did. Maybe it's just the fact that, these people existed. These people actually, fought for their lives on a hill, on this cliffside. And it was so good. It was phenomenal. And to just know that they actually existed, it really still kind of gets to me now thinking about it. Because I had gone with my dad and my brother and my sister, and when the guy had made his last stand at the tree, my dad, was into it too, and he said, "I'm so sorry." He kind of whispered it to, it's hard to explain, but as soon as he said that, I was just like, I'm sorry too. It's nothing I should be sorry for, but I'm sorry you had to go through the things that you did, I mean, no one, no one should have to, you know, go through that when they're just going on a covert mission to just take out a guy and end up fighting a whole Taliban army on a hill, a cliffside, throwing themselves off the cliffside, rolling into rocks, trees, branches, everything. I mean, that this is a story. This is based on a true life story. I'm so I'm just so amazed. I really I couldn't handle myself at all. My dad cried. He'll gladly admit it too. And I've never, thought about going to war. I've never thought about being part of the SEALs, the Air Force, none of that. And if they wanted me to, or I decided to one day, then I'd gladly fight for this country that we live in today. And once I saw at the beginning of the film, it showed actual Navy SEALs training, and they go through a lot, and they said you ring this bell, and that means you put your helmet down and you quit. Lots of people quit, but these four guys, along with many others, they didn't quit, and they pushed themselves because they were saving their lives, and they're still fighting for the country. They were still doing this for the country, and I'd applaud every one of them, and I'd love to meet them, but sadly I could only meet one of the main characters. But if I ever got the chance to, there were plenty of other people that died once they were in another I forgot what it's called, but they're going in to save him. Him and Mark Wahlberg and Ben Foster, Marcus Luttrell and Matthew Axelson. They're going in to save him, and then a Taliban guy shoots his RPG right into the helicopter, and it explodes and kills probably about 20 guys. And I'm sorry, I really am, and it really shows how weak, not we are, but I am, and how I wouldn't even put myself through that. After seeing this movie, I don't want to be a part of that. But if I had to, I would. I would. If I had to, I would. But just the thought process of what they went through, it blows my mind. And and it's just so amazing what Mark Wahlberg did. And that's why, after seeing this movie, he is my favorite actor, male. My favorite actor. Plain as hands down. Hands down. His delivery was so good. And I cried. I've never cried so hard in a movie. I honestly haven't. Laugh all you want, I guess, but it was just so good. I definitely recommend this movie. It's just, I could talk about it for so long, and I really don't want to. I don't want to keep you guys here forever. Just thought I'd give my 2 cents on the movie. Definitely go see it. I'd go see it again if someone wanted to go. Definitely. It was so good. It was so good. There's some funny scenes as well. There's, a scene where he gets saved by this Taliban town, who also I forgot to mention, the reason they saved him, although he's an American and they are Afghani, they saved him because this little town they live in, I forgot the word for it. I think it starts with a P, but they saved him because it's this 2,000-year code where if they've never met someone, or someone who's a soldier or something, they help him and save him and rescue him or something like that. And they saved his life. They legitly did, and they helped this man live. And I'm glad they did, because they would not have made this phenomenal movie. So, and I love movies. I'm definitely gonna be going a lot this year. But back to the funny scenes is he's asking this little Afghani boy he's like, I need a knife, because he needs to get the shrapnel out of him. And he's like, give me a knife, you cut, knife. and the little boy's like, knife, and he leaves the room and he comes back. And he comes back with a duck, and he's like, knife. He's like, no, knife. And then his dad comes in, and the Afghani boy's dad comes in, and he's like, I need a knife. And so he's like, knife. So he gets the knife, and he comes back, and he's getting ready to chop the duck's head off, and he's like, no, 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 just give me the knife. And I thought that was a great scene. And Matthew Axel's son, played by Ben Foster, there's this one scene where he's like, after they're getting shot at, they're like, he says, they shot me in the head, and he's like, yeah, they got you pretty good. And there's some funny moments. It had everything in it, and I love movies like that. When a movie has everything in it, action, emotion, and humor. Those are the movies I like to see. I love my action movies. I love my superhero movies. I love my comedy movies. But when it has a mix of everything, those are the movies I enjoy the most. And if, let's say, you have a girlfriend and she's like, babe, let's go to a movie tonight. I want to see a movie where I cry. Take her to see this movie. I'll put my money on it. I'll put $5 down on that. Whichever girl you bring, she will cry. I mean, it's not a given, but for people who have the mindset of this has actually happened, they will cry. My dad cried. I cried. I know a couple other people that cried. And don't be afraid to admit you cried at a movie. And it's okay. It's okay. But if you want to take your girl out to go see a movie where she's like, babe, I want to cry tonight, take her to see Lone Survivor. Take her to see it. I bet you she'll cry. And let me add here, 4 of these guys died in this picture. These are the real guys that, have lived and they actually died. The guy on the far right is one of them. The guy next to him was one of them. And then the guy next to him, it was played by Mark Wahlberg. He's the guy that lived, standing next to the Asian guy with the glasses. And then the guy on the far left also lived. I don't really know who the one in the middle is, or the one to his right, our left, but they were deceased as well, and I thank you for your service. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Phenomenal job. It was a well-directed movie. It was well done. Go see this in theaters. Don't wait for it on DVD. Definitely go see this in theaters. I think you'll enjoy it. It was a very good movie. I definitely recommend it. I'd go see it again, like I said. If you want to go old-fashioned here, I'll put 2 thumbs up for you guys. But, yeah, this is Roman. I hope you guys enjoyed. This will be posted on Facebook for my family to see. So if you guys lasted about 19 minutes long, I thank you very much. Please drop a like. Tell me what you think. And this is also going on YouTube as well. So, other people can view it as well, and I can see their opinions. But anyways, this is Roman. Once again, drop a like if you stayed throughout this whole thing. I thank you very much. I'm extremely tired. I'm getting ready to go to bed here and go to school and tell my friends what I think about the movie. Once again, I thank every single one of you military servants, who died. I thank you for your service. I really do. And I really should do this more often. Every time I see someone who looks like a veteran, I will shake their hand. I should have been doing it before, but I just never really come across too many people. And when I do, they're just kind of off in the distance. But yeah, thank you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day.